Now, are you in the Robinson, the R22 or the 44?
Most of my time's in the 22, but I'm going to do my commercial check ride in the 44. So
is that a turbo shaft engine?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
I did a turbine transition course in the 66 though. And
the 66, that's what I was thinking of.
So I have about, I don't know, 7 hours in the 66. Thanks. Boy, is that a sweet machine.
I can imagine.
There we go. This thing sure does taxi weird.
I don't even bother with it. I just, once I get your setup, I just kind of...
Yeah, good. Because
it
taxis like it's got the brakes fully applied.
Certificate I'd already, so I was, listening on the radios, trying to see what's going on. And, we lift off from the ramp, and I go to talk to one of my buddies. I turn back, and we're already up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, where's the runway at?
Well, what's really funny when I take fixed-wing pilots for rides, inevitably, when you get on final approach, and the passenger sees the airspeed drop below 55 knots, it's like, oh shit.
It was real cool. It was this whole ordeal. They take you to the canyon, they drop you down in a couple landing sites, and then you can, you have a picnic or whatever. It was a lot of fun. Really, really glad I did it. Of course, my buddies are in aviation, so they weren't as geeked out as I was.
Right,
I was more concerned with that. They were looking at the canyon. I'm looking over here, seeing what she's doing. Control or anything. So it was her, and then I was kind of staggered right behind her.
Oh, right.
So I was close, but I couldn't.
Right.
I really. All right. So I think you're gonna pause. So run through your checklist. Normal startup. We'll run through a little bit of basics of the G1000. I'll show you some real basic stuff that I want you to be kind of familiar with. Nothing too hardcore. And then I'll drop you over to the runway, depart out here, and then we'll just run through the patterns, just work on real basic attitude and altitude, airspeed control, heading control, all that good stuff. So.
Still full rich, flaps are up, avionics are on, Northbrook.
So to start,
Vortec.
Make sure to initiate the MFD. We got to enter right there.
Okay.
All right, cool. Now everything's set up with
okay.
Here. So, yeah, like I said, real basic stuff. Obviously, this is the GPS instrument right here. So obviously your direct to menu, different other things here. You said you were correct, and this is course selection and altimeter selection. Now, what we're discussing, we'll skip the comms. I think you know how to switch the frequencies and stuff like that. So when we're coming over here to the navs, now you can set a standby and an active just like you would comms. So we can adjust things like that. Now pushing it in moves this box. Whatever is highlighted in the blue box is what you're changing. So by pushing that in, I'm switching to nav 2 there. So I can change these, switch those over like that. Now to actually track nav 1 or nav 2 is the CDI button down here. So you can push CDI there. It cycles between, go ahead. There's nav 1.
That's nav 1, nav 2.
And then back to the GPS.
And back to the GPS.
So to change the frequencies, you'd be pushing them in to switch between nav 1 and nav 2
but
to actually track them. You need
to activate it, you have to press the CDI.
Excellent. Okay. Everything else is absolutely correct. So, all right, I like to just run through the before takeoff checklist and then.
Okay, so we've already done our run up.
Correct.
Flaps are set. Our trim is set for takeoff. The heading indicator is 161, 161.
And make sure you set your heading bug to our takeoff runway, Chris.
Okay.
So we just push it in and it'll zoom to that. Up. There you go. Alright, let's do a left turn to 270 and climb to 3,500.
Left to 270, climb to 3,500.
Set your timer. 100. Alright, excellent job on that. You want to try and do the ILS back home? Back to PWK?
Sure, I haven't briefed it.
It's alright. What I'm going to do is I'll just load it for you. And I want you to just practice tracking the localizer. And then I'll just instruct your way through it. How about that?
Okay.
Alright, so fly a right turn to 330 for me.
Right turn to 330.
Descend, maintain 2,700.
Out of 3,000 for 2,700.
Alright, get that power out there. Let's start a descent. 330 on the heading. Let's get down to 2,700. Get that power out there. Be assertive with it. Let's do a right turn to 060.
Right to 060.
Alright, let's do a right turn to 120.
Traffic.
Right to 120.
Traffic. Traffic.
Let's descend down to 2,300.
Out of 2,700 for 2,300.
120 on the heading. And then you can intercept that localizer when it comes in.
2,300 was the altitude.
Yep. 2,300. Double check your butt. There you go. Excellent. And we'll do 90 knots here, so about 2,300 RPM, something like that. Glide slope's alive. Alright, so once that dot comes right there at that line, I want you to set 1,700 RPM. And we're going to do a 90 knot, 500 foot per minute descent. That should hold it pretty well. Alright, and then start your timer. There's the auto marker. Now you got a scanner.
Auto marker.
You got a glide slope in.